Hi, my name's Hayley Quinn and I'm a sex dating and relationship expert for onlinedating.org. Now today what I'm going to be talking about is one of the most common problems that women face in the early stages of a relationship, where a guy turns around to them and says, hey, you know what, I want to see other people, I want us to have an open relationship. How in the world do you deal with that? In this video I'm going to be talking about the pros and the cons of how you can deal with that and how you can react. First of all though, I want you to think about whether this is important to you or not. It's very easy to have a knee-jerk reaction, to think, oh god, this is something terrible, or without really thinking things through. Think first, has he been open with you? Has he told you up front about this, or has he given it a few months and then when the issue came up sort of dropped it on you? If that's the case, you could maybe question his honesty and his sincerity. That's more of a serious issue than if he said right from the start, hey, you know what, I'm just not really ready for a relationship. The second point I'm going to talk to you about is really, do you feel unhappy about this? Some women are going to be cool about it, others will not be. If you feel like a boundary has been crossed though, and you usually feel like that when you have a sense of an anger, when you get a negative reaction to something, that's when you need to really clarify to him what you feel comfortable with and what you don't. So now let's look at sort of the pros and the cons to if you said, yeah, I'm okay with doing this, or no, you're not okay. If you agree to go along with it, there's always, of course, the possibility that given time and space, this guy's going to change. But I would say from my own personal experience and from what I know about people in general, you can't really expect them to change. You have to accept and take them as they are. So don't ever embark on an open relationship hoping to change it into a closed one. It probably won't happen. The only way that you could possibly go about it is if you give him a run for his money. Don't keep investing so much time and so much effort into him. Instead, go out on dates with loads of other guys at the same time. Boost your own self-esteem and make yourself more attractive. Then he should come running to you. He should be the one chasing you. Obviously, the downsides of having an open relationship are reflected in what I've just spoken about. They can actually be very damaging to your self-esteem. If you embark on an open relationship with the hope that it's going to become closed at one stage, it doesn't happen. Or if you discover that he's been seeing other people, then that can be very, very damaging to your self-esteem. And sometimes, you know what, it's just better to have a good sense of your own personal boundaries and also to know really clearly what you want in life. And if an open relationship is something you don't want in life, then maybe it's better to hold out for someone who will give it to you, because you know what, if you have that sense of self-esteem and you can walk away from this guy, then that's a very attractive quality. You're going to feel really good about yourself, and there are going to be plenty of other people out there who are going to meet you and think, wow, you know what, I appreciate this girl, she's perfect as she is. So just to recap, when the open relationship thing is brought up, I would sort of be judging it on two criteria as to how to go ahead. First of all, I think, how honest has he been with me about this? I think the more upfront a guy is, the better the sign is. If he's led you on a bit and he's showing signs of dishonesty, then that's not a very good sign for how congruent he is as a character and for any future relationships. Secondly, think, how far have your boundaries been crossed by this? Are you pretty okay with it really? Or do you have that instinctive sort of angry reaction? If you have that, your boundaries being crossed and you need to reassert those boundaries to him. Now, you can either do this by going along with it and hoping he'll change, and by giving him a run for his own money by going out and dating more actively than him, or you can choose to cut your losses and say, hey, you know what, I know as a woman what I want out of life, and if this guy isn't prepared to give it to me, I value myself enough to know that there'll be plenty of other guys that will, and that's probably the option I'd recommend. Anyway, I hope this has helped you a little bit with talking through the pros and cons of how to deal with it when a guy asks for an open relationship. Number one thing, value yourself and I'm sure you'll be fine. I've been Hayley Quinn and this has been an advice video for onlinedating.org.